can still say that's okay. That's kind of
yes. Oh shit!
You
I just
opened it.
I fucked it up. Well, okay. I'm just gonna explain to the camera really fast since I was gonna like delay a million years in starting. Hold on.
Right.
I specifically told her and myself that I was going to wait to open that until we were actively on the air. So I guess with that, we are actively on the air.
Actively, yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sebastian.
I'm SaraBelle.
And we are talking about fast food. I wanted to do let's talk about who we are for a second. Yeah. We are old Rocky Horror Picture Show performance.
1998 is when I met you.
1995 is when I started. So at some point, I spent 7 years in the cast.
Yeah, and I think about 5 to 6 years.
Sarah here was my sort of right-hand producer and sort of partner in crime in a lot of ways. Right.
I think MC was
the title for a while.
Yeah, I was a cast director for a while when we had our stuff.
At any rate, why are we here? We're here to talk about fast food and junk food. We've often thought we need to do we have this kind of chemistry because, I'm this weird skinny gay guy and she's my, big sexy fag hag, and it's just like...
it works.
It works. And we've been friends for so many years. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. One thing the two of us have in common, in which we don't actually have a lot in common, is food.
Yes.
We both love food for various reasons. We don't have to necessarily go into all of that. But the whole point is, of all the food we've eaten together over the years, the stuff I feel like we've talked the most about
is the junk food.
And the stuff that is not talked about a lot online because it's bad. You're not supposed to eat junk food. No. You're not supposed to eat cookies, chips, baked goods,
anything with cheese.
Fried foods, anything with cheese. And then certainly when it comes to fast food in particular... McDonald's, Burger King, In-N-Out, Jack in the Box. It's all seen as just poison these days.
It is. And you eat like a fat kid.
I eat like a fat kid. People are amazed.
Yeah. Your honorary fat kid badge, because I presented that to you, I want to say 1997,
My honorary fat kid badge, yes.
We were at one of our post-Rocky Horror places, and you ordered cheese sticks and a cheese quesadilla, and I think a soda with a handful of maraschino cherries on top.
Where was this?
The Five and Diner.
Five and Diner.
The Five and Diner on Broadway, which is now a animal hospital.
We are coming to you from Tucson, Arizona, if we haven't said that. So there's... go ahead, finish your story.
Well, no, you were sitting there in the booth, and you had this it was one of those giant quesadillas.
Yeah.
And an order of mozzarella sticks.
Those were good.
And you just were pulling the mozzarella and just...
Was I really?
Yes.
That I don't remember,
And it's one of those ones, it's like, where did you put it? Because you were, $1.20 soaking wet.
I was 135 pounds. I've always been about 130 to 140, depending on exactly. But I'm really... And people despise me for saying this. I'll say it right now. I have lucky genetics. I'm one of those skinny kids. But I cannot gain weight. And it would be nice to put a little bit of meat on my bones in the same way. And you can smack me.
You're welcome to my meat. But
I know. That's the funny thing, is we've always had that exact rapport. Well, so what have we done as far as research for other fast food podcasts? I wanted to start with that. I looked up, Googled... fast food podcast.
Yeah.
2 came up. Only one is current. One had episodes from 2007, 2006, something like that. It was specifically kind of about fast food, but it was limited in its run, at least time-wise. So it was not. There was not a lot of episodes of it. Then there was one called the Nosh Show, or the Nosh Podcast, or something like that.
The NoshShow.com.
Is that what it is? There it is. And we're looking at it on our computer here. And I mean, they do actually seem to be current. The last episode, December 21st of last year, 2014. And how long is the show? Does it say?
No, it doesn't. I could download it.
Feel free. I mean, I feel like we're going to be different no matter what. I don't know who the people are that did it. I read an online bio, and it seemed like there were people from other podcasts. That's fine.
That are contributing to...
They're doing sort of an extra podcast. Well, let me say who we are. We are old Rocky Horror Picture Show performers, food connoisseurs. I'm a news reporter for a long time.
Right.
On TV, online, mostly radio, to be completely honest. And I spent the last year teaching in Mexico and eating pork tacos, the cochinitas that I discovered, not like in northern Mexico, right across the border of Arizona, where we're coming to you from. This is actually deep in the jungle of Mexico.
Almost South America.
Almost South America. Almost. I crossed into Belize several times. I crossed into Guatemala possibly once by accident, but I don't really remember. Sometimes when you're in Mexico, right on the edge, you think you're in Mexico, you're actually in Guatemala.
the Guatemalaness.
I've spent a lot of my life eating, and with a metabolism like mine, you wonder where I put it. Everybody says that. But we do spend a lot of time hanging out, and we had a great experience. For instance, today, there is a new dessert-only place that we finally went to today. Yes. What did we have? Let's talk about that for a second, because even the names of the products were, like, insane. And we took a video, by the way.
Yeah.
Take a look at this video of...
the menu.
The menu.
The menu, because I don't know what they did to afford this place, because every tabletop had an interactive surface.
Damnedest thing you ever saw. It was like an
iPad,
like an expanded touchscreen iPad with extra thick laminated glass on top.
Mm-hmm. But it was still reactive.
Still really reactive and like sensitive, mm-hmm. and it had this gigantic high resolution digital screen with games you could play, and the menu is on there as well. And the only thing missing from this place was actually ordering on the screen. That would have been just and having them just bring it out to you.
The best interface ever. But yeah, so they had desserts.
As you can see, these games were really cool. The desserts were awesome. Tell it of the dessert. The drink I had was called caramel.
Sipping caramel.
Sipping caramel.
Now, is it caramel or caramel?
I always say caramel.
I say caramel. Sometimes I say caramel.
Caramel, I feel like misses the second A when you're pronouncing it. I was an English teacher for the past year when I was in Mexico, so I feel very qualified now to say caramel, not caramel, but, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So sipping caramel.
Sipping caramel as like a hot chocolate, but caramel flavored for my beverage. So. And what did you have?
I had a caramel milkshake.
Caramel milkshake.
With caramel ice cream and caramel sauce.
Pretty badass. Caramel, and then for food, we shared an order of...
Puffs.
Cream puffs?
They were cream puffs, but instead of cream, they had a sample of each of their ice creams.
Ice cream in
strawberry,
the cream
chocolate,
puffs.
vanilla,
and then I had the creme brulee as well, just to top it all off. We didn't spend a lot of money at this place, really.
Less than 20, because it was 12 plus 12. Okay, less than 25.
It was like $25 for the two of us.
For
and I mean, it's dessert. And it was really rich dessert, but it was absolutely spectacular. Mm-hmm. And I don't eat a lot of creme brulee, but I do like breaking the caramelized stuff on top, the sugar.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff, man. Yeah. We had a really good time, and I wanted to say good things about... but I mix up which one it is. Something sweet or just desserts. I think it's called...
Just Desserts.
Just Desserts in Tucson, Arizona. Yes. Highly recommended. Though, not a chain. Now, this is what I was going to talk about. Right. What I want to specifically talk about are the chain restaurants. Right. So if there's... This isn't diners, drive-ins, and dives on the Food Channel, right? Where people go to the Tucson famous spot, and the famous spot in Phoenix, and the famous spot in Milwaukee, and all the famous little local spots. This is not that. We're talking about McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, In-N-Out, Jack in the Box. Help me out. What are some of the other ones?
Did we already do Burger King?
I said
Dairy
Burger
Queen.
King. Dairy Queen. They have burgers there.
Well, and see, here's the thing. Like Carl's Jr., In-N-Out.
Carl's Jr.
A lot of those are regional, because here in the Southwest, Arizona, California, all those lovely places, it's Carl's Jr. You go to the East Coast, it's Harry's or Hardee's or...
But in general, if it's more than a couple of places, it's kind of a chain. It's good for our purpose. Yeah, Whataburger is good. I'm thinking of Sonic. I'm thinking of In-N-Out especially. That's my favorite.
You're Californian.
We'll talk about our favorite. Yeah. I mean, I was born in Arizona, but in Yuma, right there on the border. So I was essentially supposed to be a Californian, I feel like.
Just confirmed via the Google.
Yeah.
The Google.
The Google says...
Hardee's.
Hardee's what?
East Coast.
East Coast. Okay. Yeah. 5th largest restaurant chain...
Yeah.
Wait a second here. Where? Along with its siblings. So they're sibling restaurant chains, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. I did not know.
So they're eyebrows. They're sisters, but not twins.
I see. Okay, got it. I don't know what eyebrows means.
It's a thing.
Okay.
Don't know.
Well, listen. So that's why we're here. We're here to talk about fast food, the stuff we like, and all kinds of topics that surround it. Nobody's really doing that. I mean, I hear some mention of McDonald's on NPR from time to time.
Right, but that's usually because of their employment practices or strikes or minimum wage.
And that's a good story. Kind of like, you know, fast food workers are very often kind of the example people throw up there for, oh my God, will the economy collapse if we raise the minimum wage?
Right.
Or, you know, what will happen? And there's actually a good article. We're going to talk about that in the edition where we talk about minimum wage. I want to talk about just sodas. This drink, by the way, Code Red Mountain Dew, my favorite. The single #1 thing I missed the most when I was spending my year in Mexico. This stuff is not available in Mexico.
Right.
I need to try and... Amazon.com it, although shipping is
ridiculous.
A little bit of a difficult situation, and it's very heavy to ship soda.
It is. Now, lately, I've been on a kick. I'm not sure if you've seen this.
What is this?
This is water, but soda water, basically.
Okay, let me look. Zero sugar, zero caffeine.
Right. Although the whole zero sugar is supposed to be horrible for you because it does have the
sweetener.
The sweetener that I cannot pronounce.
Sweetener is another thing we will talk about. Actually, I think I plan a whole episode on sweeteners because there's a lot to talk about. Old sweeteners, new sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, which is my favorite. Old-fashioned regular cane sugar, like in Mexican Coke. Which I had just last night and is really quite something.
Yes, but this has the aspartame in it.
It has NutraSweet. Is basically
so the boyfriend is like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it has it's water.
Clear American strawberry. You get this where?
Walmart.
Okay.
And I'm afraid to open it. It's very
sweet if it's got NutraSweet in it. It's
because the thing is, I'm afraid to open it because somebody dropped it on the floor.
How dare you? And how dare you some more? It was not my fault that this fell onto the floor, but apparently it's fizzy, and she's now been threatening to open it next to me here.
I'm not sure if it
ever
sounds
since
like a
we
bomb.
Started.
Sounds like okay.
No, go ahead and open it. I think we see bubbles happening here, so.
That makes him angry.
Anyway,
it's like kicking a beehive, It's,
and is it good? I mean, is it?
I enjoy it.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. I do enjoy it because it's very fruity.
It's fruity. Well,
who
doesn't love something that's fruity? How dare you?
The Republicans. Okay, there we go.
All right, so the two big prongs of this show: fast food, as we mentioned, from the major chains and regional chains. And junk food, which is also, I feel like, something else that gets ignored. It's a food genre. I'll try it. Yeah, it kind of tastes like that vitamin sweet water.
If I wouldn't have told you that it was supposed to be strawberry, would you have been able to
guess? It's strawberry-ish, kind of. I mean, it tastes like the other kind of essence of strawberry waters I've tasted, or, whatever. They have, do you remember when Gatorade tasted like ass? Like it was very salty and very, but it tasted. You know what I'm talking about? Now Gatorade's very sweet, like Kool-Aid.
Now it's very sweet, and it used to be very.
Yeah, it used to be. It used to taste bad, but that's because it actually had like the electrolytes
that were good for you.
In Mexico, there is a drink called Electrolyte, L-I-T, at the end of it, and it's got that same kind of old Gatorade taste to it.
Yeah.
And it actually has the stuff that replenishes you. So junk food and fast food is what we're going to talk about here. There's some other people talking about such things on the internet. Some of it current and good for them. Hopefully we can be, maybe partners or something. Well, but I feel like nobody's really talking about it in a connoisseur way. There used to be a radio show about cigars. I used to be a radio guy for many years, and so I used to occasionally listen to this radio show about cigars. I don't like tobacco or at least smoke cigars.
Yeah, you're not
But it was fascinating niche radio because it was like they would go into different kinds of cutters.
Right, and the different kind of lighters.
Different types of cigars themselves.
Exactly,
there are millions of them.
Yes.
And so it was really fascinating to listen to that. Now, everybody knows smoking is bad for your health, and it's not good. So it's probably bad to eat junk food and bad to eat this kind of food. But we're going to talk about it anyway and assume people are going to be responsible. We're coming up on 15 minutes, so we're going to take our first break.
Yeah.
But after the break, we're going to talk about our first thing, our top burger choices.
Yes. I have mine.
I have mine, and we're going to talk about burgers and stuff. We spent some time talking about our dessert experience earlier. She's SaraBelle. I'm Sebastian. You're with us here on the food podcast that we haven't yet named.
No.
And we'll get a name for it. We'll be right back.